Today I want to talk to you about the Nintendo 64 Controller. It's very innovative and I hate this controller. I hate it more than any other controller that I've ever used. Well, now that I've pissed everyone off, let's get to the review. First of all, I want to thank everyone who didn't rage quit the video and decided to stick around and kind of hear me out on this. So let's take a look at these things. They come in a number of colors, most of them hideous. And I guess that's my first complaint here is just look at the aesthetics of this. Just really honestly look at this. I mean, it may look kind of okay from the top. I don't really like this sort of sort of triple thing. Could be some sort of plane or something, except that it's got this giant thing hanging off of the back of it. I don't know what they were thinking when they came up with this design. So I guess let's start out with the things that I think are actually pretty good about this controller. The button design I think is fairly good. You can definitely easily tell which button is which, and I kind of like this whole C button with the little arrows deal on the right side here, and it's pretty easy to find. The shoulder buttons feel nice. The D-pad actually feels very nice. I'll have to give it to them. They put a quality D-pad on this. Not that you'll be using it a whole lot. And I guess that's about all there is to say for what I like about it. Oh, also, almost forgot, the cord. I actually like the cord because it doesn't sort of, sometimes you wrap them around your controller and then when you unwrap it you have this sort of spiral thing that you can never get straightened out to actually play. So these actually, work pretty nicely. So I don't know if there's some specific design to that or if they're just thinner or what the deal is, but I like the cord. So I guess it's time to get to what I don't like about this controller other than the aesthetics. Okay, so first of all, I guess comfort-wise, it's fine if you're holding it like this. This is kind of like really just an expansion of like an old-school 2D controller with your D-pad on the left, buttons on the right, couple shoulder buttons, and it's not too bad. I could use it to be just a little bigger because if I hold it like they seem to want to, then I have to sort of pull everything back, but it's not a big deal. The problem is you rarely hold it this way. In fact, I'm not an N64 expert, but most of the games that I've played on it, you don't hold in this fashion. You either hold it like this, or you hold it like this. And to be honest, either one of these ways is really uncomfortable to me. It seems, I know that Nintendo usually sort of makes things for children and children-sized hands, but it just really is just very uncomfortable. I honestly don't know why they didn't just put the analog stick on the left side, since you use it more often than the D-pad. Since the N64 only has a 3D processor, all the games essentially are 3D. So it seems like the analog stick being in a better spot would have been a good idea. But hindsight is 20/20, I suppose. The next thing is the analog stick itself is just really like the cheapest piece of garbage analog stick I've ever used. It kind of works, it kind of gets the job done. It's a little slippery like a lot of these early ones that don't have the the softer plastic on the top or the rubber or something like that. It's got just this hard plastic, so it does kind of slip around. Like I said, it kind of gets the job done, but it just it doesn't feel very nice, and most of them end up breaking sooner or later. The next thing is sort of the weighting of the thing. is kind of weird with this, you know, when you put the rumble pack on it or any sort of peripheral, it kind of weighs the back down. So it just kind of, I think in combination with the fact that your hands are kind of crunched in one way or the other, it just makes this, to me, kind of an uncomfortable controller over a period of time. So I know a lot of people really love this controller, and that's okay. I mean, it's you know, we're allowed to have a difference of opinion, and that's what this review has been. It's been my own biased, very biased personal opinion. But I do think that with a growing number of the gaming population consisting of people who either grew up with the N64 as something they had as a kid or their first console or something of that nature, I think, you know, and also maybe some of the slightly older people like myself looking back on games like GoldenEye or Ocarina of Time or some of those really amazing games that came out for the system, I think these controllers kind of get tied into those really great memories. And so it's very hard to look at them objectively, I think. And I also give props to Nintendo. That I think they're always on sort of the cutting edge of controller technology, and they take a lot of risks. I think they took a lot of risks with this controller, and you know, maybe it didn't pay off so much. But I think it sort of laid the groundwork for the GameCube controller, which I think they did a much better job with. And again, you know, if you're really out there putting yourself out, trying new things all the time, it's not always going to be successful. So my hat's off to Nintendo, even though I'm not a huge fan of this controller. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.